And we are live. I don't know if I got
Oh,
caught on.
I hope it didn't. I hope.
Anyways, what's going on, everybody? We are live for episode 4 of the Last Give podcast. I am Ace. Dude on my right can introduce himself.
That
Baby
was
Yoda.
Yeah, Baby Yoda. I'm Baby Yoda today. Obviously, I am Flash, and welcome back to our another episode of the Last Give podcast. As you can tell, I am back in my bedroom due to the numerous amount of complaints from the last episode. So
Yeah,
I
turn
am
off the light.
back
It looks
here.
weird with the light on.
Oh, I forgot to. Oh my god, give me a
Be back
second.
in a second. All right.
BRB.
Anyways,
I forgot to do that. It's been a minute. Yeah, let me.
we are gonna talk about NFL, all the games. Well, some of them a little more than others. Some news that came out on the injury front, nothing ever good. Praise up for Dane Jackson. At least he's got movement
Hey,
in his
hey,
life
hey,
from last
hey,
night.
hey, we ain't gonna talk about the NFL. We got a lot of college ball to talk about as well. Let's not
What? I
forget about
know.
that.
I was doing my praise for Dane Jackson from last night.
Oh, yeah, and
Tears in peace for him.
my fantasy team like shit the bed. Like, wow, I got caught on. Yeah, my fantasy team shit the bed last night, but we'll talk about that later on. Anyways,
Michael
let's hit
Penix
it.
is front contender for Heisman. Miami overrated.
Hey. We got a lot to talk about. Let's just hit it, man.
Be a
Let's just hit
friend,
it.
tell a friend, like, share, subscribe. If you're on Twitter, retweet it, and I'll post a
Oh,
link
that's
during the
right.
intro.
That's right. I need to post
Come
my
in the
links
comments
too.
section. Come in the comment section on YouTube for the comments, so we can have questions. Keep the
Yes,
conversation
yes.
going.
We do need our comments on YouTube, because if you do it on Twitter or Facebook, unfortunately, we do not get to see it immediately. It does not pop up on our streaming services. So please do use YouTube if you want to comment. But if you're watching from Facebook and Twitter, thank you very much. It means a lot to us. And I'll also try to respond to questions as well off of my phone. That's why it's here, right? So, anyways,
Love
let's
the
hit
intro.
it. Oh my god!
All right, let's get into the kickoff. Change the background, J peeps.
We're kicking off.
If you pays attention.
Let's just kick off. All right.
All right.
I
Baby.
like that background. You know what? You know what, Jordan? I think I'm gonna have to buy Ace a Buccaneers house memorabilia from work one day. If you guys don't know, my job that actually pays me money is Dick's Sporting Goods. We do have a Buccaneers home little sign right there. So if you pass by Citrus Park Dick's Sporting Goods, you can say
I'll
hi
be Jamar
and,
Chase.
and pick that
I'll
up.
be Jamar. There you go.
Maybe
Jamar's got his own issues.
If I you know what? How about this? If we get like at least 10 or 10 likes on our post on Twitter with this current stream, I will buy a Buccaneers home sign. I will do that. So hear that out. Anyways, let's get started. Let's start with Ace. I know he has a lot to say on his chest. I mean, we saw on his Twitter how he's been feeling lately. So tell us how you really
Don't do that to me,
Ace.
Twitter. Don't get 10 likes.
In fact, maybe I should call up Stink Bastard or something, even though he probably doesn't remember me too much. But
oh well. Anyways,
thank you for 1,000 followers.
Yeah, thanks for 1,000. I didn't even pay attention to that. Thank you for 1,000 followers on Twitter. JP's got to put up the tweet for if it gets 10 likes on Twitter, we have to get me a Bucks thing, sadly. Anyways, Bucks.
And he has to hang it up in his room every morning, so when he sees it, he remembers it's a Buccaneers house. Even though he's a diehard Saints fan, this is gonna be so fun.
All right. Anyways, 2010. Let's see. Mike Evans, Dex Lattimore for anytime he gets an opportunity, he takes it. I guess. I got to say, the guy's opportunistic. He sees an opportunity to go get something on the guy that locks him down 24/7 every game they play. I mean, sure, go knock yourself out. The only game he ever got Lattimore was the game with Ryan Fitzmagic during the Fitzmagic streak. So whatever there. And that 2018 season, Lattimore was terrible. He was like on his defensive rookie of the year hangover. Anyways, I'm off topic. They suspended him for a game. Oh god, don't get me started with that bomb. Him and Ruiz, don't get me started with them two. Them two.
As I said, ladies and gentlemen, sad Saints fans today. We don't even need Sad Gators fan on today. We have the sad Saints fan. Even though we should get him on too as well. I would.
Man, Peyton Turner's a bust. I'm saying that after one season. That man's a bust ass man. Dude's trash. Got scratched the last week, or whatever you want to call it. Inactive, healthy scratch against the Bucks. I mean, you took him 27, I want to say, or 28. You literally had Gregory Rousseau and what's his name? Patrick Oweh or whatever the guy's name is on the Ravens. Both of those pass rushers went right after him and have done shit in the NFL. This man has one sack and has been on the injured reserve most of his career. And don't get me started with Davenport and Ruiz. I've been saying it. Even out on the high school friends, we was talking yesterday about it, and we were like, remember how much I wanted Lamar Jackson in 2018 and Jalen Hurts in 2020? Ha! Watching them this past weekend was rough as a Saints fan. I mean, I'm sticking with Jameis as the quarterback, but the people saying Andy Dalton need to play, I'll get the hell out of here with that. The Andy Dalton ain't gonna fix their issues.
Okay, Jordan. Well, I mean, let's be honest. We're not. You should not be entertaining the Andy Dalton talk. I know it's funny, but same time, like nobody in their right mind should be entertaining that Andy Dalton talk. And
if you're gonna do the Andy Dalton, Jameis has to be on injured reserve for that to even happen. And considering you don't have a first round pick this year because you gave it to the Eagles to get, I want to say Trevor Penning.
More like to get rid of
Olave. But I mean, you're gonna get the pick for Sean Payton, but you really need to make sure you get that trade for Sean Payton down right and get a first round pick at the minimum, because you got some issues there if you're gonna do a quarterback. But anyways, the season's not over. The people saying the season's over with Jameis having one bad game is kind of blown out of proportion. I know he had a rough fourth quarter with 3. He was trying to take over the game, if you know what I mean. You can see it when he took the shot to Olave deep in double coverage. He was trying to end it right then and there and put the juggler shot, but didn't work. And then he tried playing hero ball. Definitely didn't work when you had Michael Thomas right in front of you for a 5-yard catch on the second interception. But yeah, live and learn. He has been good in the other 7 games he's played or whatever. I was telling someone the other day, I said, Tom Brady's got 8 interceptions against the Saints in 5 games. Jameis Winston's got 6 and the same 5-3. He was 5-2, so now he's 6-3, so 9 games. He's got 6 interceptions in 9 games. Tom Brady's got 8 in 5 games. So I mean, he's not been terrible. He's pretty solid still. So I'm gonna ride with Jameis for this year, see how it goes. But he really needs to watch how. He should have watched how Josh Allen played last night, because he's got the arm of Josh Allen, but the brain of Nathan Peterman right now.
I'm gonna say my take on Jameis Winston. All right, when you don't have a running back that what the Saints offense usually rely on the most. I mean,
don't get me started with Mark Ingram. Mark Ingram is
time out.
You mentioned running back, and I forgot to mention that. You made me remember that man. That man is in the doghouse. All right. That man is in the Jared Cook doghouse.
You need to sit down, sir. All right, sit down. You're not a sad Saints fan. You are a irrational Saints fan.
No, Mark Ingram deserves to be in the Jared Cook doghouse.
Running on complete emotion, unstable.
No, I am not being on emotion.
You are.
That man fumbled the exact same way Jared Cook did.
All right, so I'm gonna say
and caused the exact same response.
So I'm gonna say this right now. You don't have Alvin Kamara going right. All right, that's like the Saints' number 1 piece ever since Drew Brees left. All right, so like half the game for Saints are gone. I mean, the O-line isn't helping that much more either, and Jameis having cracks in his backs now. I mean, to some extent, like Yeah, maybe Jameis may have made some bad decisions. I mean, there's times when Michael Thomas was wide open. To be fair, though, I mean, I don't think he really got a chance to get the connection going with Michael Thomas. That's something that Saints fans need to give a chance with Jameis
Don't
as time goes
forget
on, because this is
Olave.
the hush I said, and also you got to get things going for that combination to even start. So it's just going to take time. I mean, you can't force it to Olave. I mean, I think right now Olave should be wide receiver 3 with Landry at wide receiver
No.
2. You think it's the other way around?
Mm-hmm. Olave's getting open. Landry's just running the slot, and I mean he's open a couple of times, but Olave has been open a ton. It's just Jameis hasn't got the connection and like the chemistry on point.
Well, I mean,
And I
I
do
mean, as I said,
that's
it's like it's a whole new system. It's a whole new coach and stuff. I mean, that's what
it's
the
not
Saints got to go
the
through.
system is the same. It's the lack of playing
Well, it's new
together is one of the
receivers. That's what
issues.
I'm saying. It's
Yeah,
a whole
the new
it's a whole new
receivers and
coach
not
and
playing the
everything too.
preseason.
They're not even opening up deep in the playbook as well, which I mean, you really can when you have a terrible offensive line. So that's what I'm going to say. Buccaneers side. Well, I mean, let's see. I know, but I'm going to completely go on a rant of NFL refereeing. Sadly, Bucks fans, you might crucify me for this, but to be honest, the Saints Bucks game was definitely one of them. Every time the Saints got a fourth down, a flag was thrown every time. So I mean,
I
it,
haven't
it
said
gave
it. I didn't say it.
it gave me memories of that Super Bowl. And you know what? That's not the only game, by the way. I'm seeing this. I'm seeing this as well with
Green Bay,
the Green Bay and
Chicago.
Chicago game. I saw that with another game as well.
Nah, actually, let's go into Monday Night Football. Now that you mentioned with the rest, because something Troy Aikman said had me dying last night. He said, I don't know who the hell the head ref was in the Eagles Vikings game, but Troy Aikman said it. He said, this guy's got more screen time than the 2 head coaches I've had. And I just died on the spot. The amount of flags this guy was throwing, some BS calls. Buffalo Tennessee game, they called a false start on Buffalo when the guy was definitely in the neutral zone. They had a bunch of missed calls in the Buffalo game before it got out of hand. You had the refs giving Mahomes back 2 interceptions. The Asante Samuel one, okay, fine. But the Nasir Adderley interception, the first one, that was not illegal contact. The 2 of them just got their feet tangled up and MVS went down. That's still a pick. The rest were bailing out Mahomes in that Chargers game. And there's a couple other games. I'm not going to get into details of it, but there were a bunch of either no calls that weren't called or really weird calls. And I think Bucks and Saints fans can agree the one between Bradley Roby on that tackle is bad, and the Keanu Neal on Jameis tackle is bad. Like, they weren't bad tackles, but they shouldn't have warranted flags, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah, I mean that's what I was saying. I think that one bad call with the Bears, something that should have been clearly a touchdown that didn't get called one, even though you have cameras and stuff. That's just what kind of irks me. And I think it is fair to call out the NFL on stuff like that. It does ruin the integrity of the game, does ruin the integrity of the sports. It's gonna listen. The NFL is a top league, and they cannot be making that kind of stuff, especially like. You can't be doing that stuff, because then you're going to encourage that behavior down to the college level, the kids level, to even freaking pop water for crying out loud. I mean,
You won't be able to tackle between touch NFL style.
I mean,
But
listen,
I mean, now you know how you
that's my
tackle?
point.
You tackle like Derwin James. You tackle like Derwin James on Travis Kelce.
I was excited to get to talk about that. I'm glad to see Derwin James finally healthy, finally doing what everyone in the local Tampa Bay, Orlando area know what he was doing at. I think it's either Auburndale or Haines City. It's one of those 2 schools over there. But
and FSU.
FSU. I mean, dude was playing at every single position you could think of. He was playing running back. He was playing defensive, and he was playing cornerback, playing safety. Dude could do it all. So when you look at the type of talent or the strength of a defensive lineman, but the speed of a DB and like the power of a running back, that's a very lethal football player. And Derwin James has put that on display when he took out Kelce. And for those of you all that said he wanted to do that to Gronk, I'm sorry to tell you, he would do that to Gronk too. It doesn't matter who you put him up against. He's gonna clean that guy.
And to be honest, Kelsey didn't have a phenomenal game either. Just saying.
10 points. I mean, it's not.
All right, let's talk about the game of the week. Dolphins Ravens. Okay, so two things in that game. First, Tua was great. I'm not taking nothing against Tua. Actually, no, three things. Let me take it back. Two, the Ravens missed J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards badly. Don't be me who started Kenyon Drake because he thought he was going to be decent and had 0.8 fantasy points because Kamara was out. And three, the only reason why that comeback happened in Miami was because Marcus Peters was injured half the game and Marlon Humphrey did not play the last 5 minutes of the game. Last 6 minutes of the game in the fourth quarter. Just saying. If you want to know why Tyreek and Waddle were running wild in that last fourth quarter, it was because the top two corners weren't even playing. Just saying. But Waddle and Hill are the first duo with 10 catches, 150 yards, and 2 TDs, which is insane to think about. Except poor me, who had.
I'll say this one thing right now. I do love the Waddle celebration. I just, just a penguin. I just love it.
Yes, it's better than the Mike Gesicki gritty. That's just, ugh. That was hurting my eyes.
Oh my god, that gritty was so stiff. Like, don't do the gritty again, my friend. Just please do not. No one deserved to see that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you had Jets coming back on the Browns. That was funny. The Browns were browning it up again.
It's like the
browning it up, but.
Well, here's the thing. Surprisingly, the Jets haven't been playing terribly.
They were terrible against Baltimore.
They were? Oh.
Yeah, they were really terrible against Baltimore.
Maybe the Browns
figured out.
Browns
they figured out. Oh, let's just get Garrett Wilson the ball. That works. You think?
Yeah, I think so.
Joe Flacco is, I want to say, top 3 in passing yards in the NFL. Believe it or not, it's Flacco, Wentz, and Tua. Tua's number 1, Wentz is number 2, and Flacco is number 3 in passing yards. Just a little tidbit there. That's crazy to think about. The Giants are 2-0. I think Matt Rule's getting fired after this weekend.
Who the Panthers playing?
New Orleans.
Yeah, I'm. Well, listen,
they're gonna start 0-3.
Well, here's the thing. Assuming the Saints play as we expect them to play, yeah, it's gonna happen. But right now, I got questions for the Saints too. They look like they're in a mess as well with this new figuring out the system, figuring out the receivers and stuff. Now, I'm pretty sure we're gonna expect to see Jameis throw the ball more to Michael Thomas, without a doubt. But same time, I don't know. I don't know if I will just wave it off like that so easily. Game of the week: Bills versus Dolphins. All right. I'm. Listen, I have a bad feeling of that game. Bills defense is not the Ravens defense. I'm gonna say that right now. Bills
Tua better buckle up and hope he doesn't break his ribs again.
Now, listen. Granted, the Dolphins do have Tyreek and stuff, which does open up the field a little bit more, and with Jalen Waddle stepping up, but
whatever
I have a bad feeling of this game. I'm going to say that.
Whatever the under is for rushing yards as a team for Miami, I take the under on it. Well, I think Miami's going to have to throw that ball a ton, especially with I want to say Micah Hyde got hurt in that game. I don't know if he came back against Tennessee, but Dane Jackson's out. I don't know if Kyrie Elam is playing yet from Florida, but if I'm Miami, you have the offensive line. If it holds up, you just go really quick to Waddle and Hill and just let them work after the catch. That is your best bet for beating Buffalo. And pray Xavier Howard and Byron Jones hold up better this week than they did against Rashad Bateman and Devin Duvernay and Mark Andrews last week.
Well, I mean, let's speaking of bad play calling and stuff, let's talk about the Broncos.
I was gonna say Stephon Diggs is gonna kill him.
Oh yeah, Diggs is gonna eat up the Miami defense.
I want to see if Gabe Davis plays. If Gabe Davis plays, I think I'm gonna take Buffalo by over double. I say it's a wrap if Gabe Davis plays. But if not, I won't be surprised if you see Miami just triple team Diggs and see if anybody else beats them.
Well, here's the thing: if if Gabe Davis plays, I mean, triple teaming Diggs is not going to be your answer.
No, I'm saying if Gabe Davis doesn't play,
Oh,
then
I
you
mean,
just triple team Diggs and then see if anybody else beats him.
yeah, good luck with that. Now, you know what? Let's
Let's talk about your Broncos. Your favorite team,
my
the Broncos.
Broncos. Listen, I rep the Seahawks still. I know you
Oh.
guys. I know you guys like want to say I jump ship, and sometimes, at times, I thought what Seattle did to Russell Wilson is still dirty. I still think that, but as of right now, I'm not jumping ship. No, it's still fun to root for Seattle. Still a great fan base, so I still like rooting for Seattle. I still will, even if it means tanking for 10 more years. I
Now
mean,
you got Bryce Younger, CJ Stroud. Just
nah,
don't lose the game. Don't win a
no.
game.
See, listen. You know what?
No, they'll take Will
let,
Anderson. If they have a top
okay.
tier pick.
Wait, you know what? Ace, hang on. So, but yeah, what I've seen on an NFL level of coaching with the Denver Broncos is utterly embarrassing. I'm gonna say that right now. Utterly embarrassing. How the heck are you an NFL coach and not taking care of the clock like that, having so many of delay of games and all that stuff? How? And we saw during week 1 how they handled having a quarterback like Russell Wilson in clutch time, and they choose to go for a 64-yard field goal. Your kicker is not Justin Tucker, and he still chose to do that. That is like a red flag going on in Denver. Denver's in for a very long season with this coach, and you know what? I'm sorry, man, but maybe I don't feel sorry for John Elway now. John Elway does have a bit of an ego, so you know what?
I thought John Elway stepped down.
Oh, he did step down. Listen, you know
Yeah,
what?
George Patton now is a GM.
Well, listen,
Peyton,
you know what?
Paton.
Well, listen,
something like that.
somebody in there is not doing their job very well, and you know what? If you hire that coach,
coaching.
yeah, it's more coaching than
He
Russell
was
Wilson playing bad.
He was the offensive coordinator in Green Bay, so it's not he wasn't having a good offense. He had the back-to-back MVP in his offense. Well, I don't know if it's more Matt LaFleur running the offense or what, but
I don't know, man. I really don't know, Mr. Ace. It's just crazy to see like how an NFL team could be playing football so badly because of coaching on that level. It's just absurd of how bad it was. Now, you know what? Let me move on to the Seabirds, Now, you know what? I kind of feel like once Trey Lance went down, everything just went in for the 49ers. I do think it's a chemistry thing that was what 49ers had during week 1. And now that week 2, they went back with Trey Lance, unfortunately, getting hurt. Garoppolo. You know what? Unfortunately, I might have to agree with Colin Cowherd. They are a better team with Garoppolo in the sense that they have better chemistry. Now,
do you know why Colin Cowherd said what he said about
yes,
Trey Lance?
I know. He just hates him because he broke up with his daughter. But he was defending him because Trey Lance was still inside of his daughter. Yeah, I know. Yeah, we all saw it on Twitter. You know what? I'm gonna just say it bluntly like that. If I get suspended from the show, so be it. That's how I'm gonna say it, and I don't regret it.
Well,
Sorry,
you're
Vince.
reading the tweet, but anyways.
No, I'm not reading the tweet. I don't have.
No, I know, but that's what the tweet said.
Yeah, exactly. But it's true.
Yeah, I mean, the way how Colin Cowherd flipped on
Liv Cowherd was literally posted a few years back on Twitter saying, "I am for the streets." What do you think was happening with her and Trey Lance? What do you think?
I know. But anyways, I mean, what Cowherd is doing with Lance is kind of messed up, but I do agree the 49ers have a better shot of winning this year with Garoppolo, even though Trey Lance has played 3 games, I want to say it is. 3 full games since 2019.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I forgot that.
3 full football games since 2019 is insane, and that's 3 years. So it's kind of rough for Lance, but Garoppolo does open up the passing attack in a more way, even though their running backs are decimated. I don't know if getting rid of Trey Sermon was the right move.
Hey, Marlon Mack to the rescue, perhaps? USF alumni. That's
all right, President Flash. Or ex-President Flash. Cardinals make the Raiders suffer their worst franchise blow.
I'm not gonna. I don't like wording it that way, Ace. I'm gonna word
as a terrible wording. They choked.
No. I'm gonna word this as the Cardinals had one of the best comebacks we ever seen in a game of football. That's how I'm gonna put it.
Okay,
That's
Cliff
how the ending
Kingsbury
is.
saved his job.
Cliff Kingsbury's hot seat has cooled down a little bit from that game because they looked pathetic early until the second half, and then Kyler Murray looked like Kyler Murray that we expect to see every week.
No, Kyler Murray looked like Michael Vick.
That's what we expect out of Kyler Murray. Either be precision with his throws or running like Michael Vick. That's that. You know what? When Kyler Murray is good, he is good. But when Kyler Murray is bad because the offense stutter or because of him or whatever,
Hey, AJ Green ran the right
bad.
route.
AJ Green ran the right route, but he ain't
For the
doing too
2-point
much.
conversion. He hasn't done diddly squad. I told you guys. I told you last week. Pick up Greg Dortch. Did y'all listen? No. Now everybody's talking about him on the waiver wire. Y'all ain't listening to me. I told y'all to get Greg Dortch last week. He is doing better than what's his face, Marquise Brown, who can't catch a ball. Bengals got issues on their offensive line. Offensive line never got fixed. Oh, don't get me started with these Pittsburgh Steelers. Before we switch into college football, I want to read a tweet.
Oh my god. Okay,
Trubisky and other players have confirmed that players are in the huddle arguing about the play calls, saying that to change the play, but Trubisky is not allowed to use any audibles, and the offensive coordinator, Matt Canada, did confirm it himself. He does not let them use audibles, and it's his play caller, the highway. And that's what Snoop Dogg was telling. That's what Snoop Dogg.
That's arrogance.
I'll talk about that in Hot Topic. What Snoop Dogg said. Let's get into college football now, because even Snoop Dogg wants this guy gone.
I need to call a timeout actually, so you could start talking real quickly. I'll be right back.
Okay, so yeah, Snoop Dogg did say he wants Mike Tomlin to fire that man. I mean, you know how Snoop Dogg would word stuff, but yeah, you could figure that out. Well, I guess I have to talk about USF. I mean, they're playing Bama next year. I even got Bama to respond. I was like, why does Bama have to play USF? Someone tell me. And Raymond James. It's not going to end well. We all know that game's going to be over in the first 5 minutes of the game. Because they released the 2023 schedule and it's Middle Tennessee, Texas, and USF as the first 3 games for Bama. Yeah, let's not do that. That's just a I don't know why USF wanted that matchup. That's not going to end well. But a matchup for an SEC team versus USF that also didn't end well, but for the most part was going good for 59 minutes and 16 seconds, was the game between Florida and USF, where USF had a chance to tie the game and take it to overtime, but how do I say this in the most nicest possible way? Become the Atlanta Falcons? No. Become the Chargers? I don't know. But whatever you want to do, they just became like the Browns, I guess, and just like blew the entire second half. That last drive, you're driving down and threatening to score a touchdown. Florida's on their heels, and they can't stop you. And you call a timeout and let them reset. That is my biggest beef with that. And then the minute after that timeout, you have a botched snap that sends you back a bunch of yards. You have
another botched snap for that field goal as well.
It wasn't the snap that was botched. It was the hold that was botched for the field goal. And the fact that guy almost made that kick is outstanding on his part. But I even knew, I was like, watch them miss this kick. That just is so USF.
Well, here's the thing, like we could say that is so USF, but not in a way we were expecting how USF was going to go out like that. That's the thing, here's the thing. We thought it was going to be the kicker's fault, but it's not even the kicker's fault. If you're jumping the kicker at University of South Florida, I wish misery on those frat houses because they don't deserve shit if they do that. Because it's not even the kicker's fault. It's the holder's fault. If you want to jump someone, jump the holder, not the kicker.
Guy had to kick it on the laces. No, it was flat, wasn't it? It wasn't even on the laces. It was flat.
It was flat. Like how you see a picture of the football, your stereotypical football picture. That's how it came out. How was he supposed to kick that? That's the meme picture
right there. JP's you're gonna have to meme him.
Like hands up like how this. You could do that? Like. I can't even. The fact that he's able to kick that was pretty incredible. That the fact he was able to kick it, let alone almost 40, 50 yards. That is just nuts. Oh my god, am I hurting his ears? I'm sorry. But look on the bright side. USF, I think if they do like a triple option kind of like offense, I think they would be pretty solid. I mean, I gotta see
Dude
how.
can't throw the ball for his life if it depended on it, but he could run the ball good, I
Well,
guess.
well, listen, Ace. I mean, he wasn't actually that bad throwing the ball. He only had 2 picks. I mean, it could have been
I mean,
worse.
you get a pick in the end zone. You pick off Ford in the end zone. 2 plays later, you throw a pick yourself.
Well, you know what? Florida offense is another ball game we gotta talk about because how the heck does Anthony Richardson went from looking like Cam Newton to looking like Johnny Football in Cleveland? How did he do that? I do not know. But that
Johnny
is
Football in Cleveland is generous.
it might be a little bit generous, but
I was gonna say Taysom
no,
Hill.
no, not Taysom Hill. What's his name? One of the
Mason
old.
Peterman.
No,
Mike Glennon. No.
Mike Glennon. No,
No, he's
Josh.
not Mike Glennon. Tim Tebow on the Denver Broncos.
Josh McCown, bro. Josh McCown.
Hey, McCown's 13 years in the NFL. He's Tim Tebow in the Denver Broncos. Man's pathetic.
I was trying to think of every old Buccaneers backup quarterback that had to play throughout the dirt years with the Bulls.
Anyway, there's the best team in Florida is not Miami. We just proved that. Texas A&M just proved that. But it is FSU, who should be ranked, but they're not.
FSU, without a doubt, is the best team in the state of Florida. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna avoid this topic because that's a whole nother rant I want to get on. Like, you know how Ace went on a rant about the Saints? I want to get on a rant about what I want to. But as of right now, we'll agree with the fact that FSU is the best team in the state of Florida. And you know what? Even Gators fans at this point are agreeing that FSU will completely dominate them in a football game at this current moment in time if they were to face head-to-head. All right, the only fan base that does not accept FSU as the best team is a team that down in Miami that played absolutely nobody and lost to A&M this past weekend. They played a bunch of FCS schools and somehow they are ranked. I do not know how that's possible. I guess they considered A&M a quality loss, like the good old Power 6 arguments with those teams. I mean, good Lord, man. The fact Miami's ranked is criminal, and the fact that UF is ranked is also criminal. I'm going on my rant. I'm sorry, Ace. I'm gonna go on my rant. And you know what? I still see some analysts out there that still have Michigan State ranked after they got annihilated by Michael Penix in Washington. And for those who don't know, especially my viewers in the Hillsborough County area, Pasco County area, Michael Penix is actually a local talent from here. He actually originally went from Pasco High School to Tampa Bay Tech, graduated Tampa Bay Tech. So I just want and right now Michael Penix is actually I think he should be in the conversation for Heisman, but that's another topic I'll debate in a few moments. But right now, what I'm more worried about is how flawed this AP top 25 is. I'm gonna do it right now. AP top 25, because right now it is hideous, and it only proves that college ranking is nothing more than favoritism by a group of committee that they think that is deemable to play football in the playoffs.
You done, baby Stephen A?
No, I'm not done. So Miami at 25 is an atrocity. Florida as well at 20 is still an atrocity. That people should have watched that Florida game and know for a fact Florida was lucky USF did not lose that game. Because guess what? Florida should have lost that game, plain and simple. So they should have treated that ranking as if Florida was a lose, not because Florida won due to the other team that is choking, let alone what people consider the bad team. So I guess I don't know, man. I mean, I just don't know. SEC favoritism, this is just out of hand. Florida at 20 is a pure atrocity. They're not even better than Florida State. Both of those teams are not better than Florida State. But yeah, you still put Florida at 20. And they lost to they should have lost to USF for crying out loud. I can't even say they lost because USF still choked, but still, this is a pure atrocity as of right now. All right, let's see who else we have here. Penn State, they're fine. Oregon, they're fine. I don't agree with Washington at 18, but for a team that's supposedly beat number 11, they're getting Pac-12 treatment, not SEC treatment. For a team that completely dominated a number 11 team in the nation from the Big Ten.
Hey, we got
So,
ACC showdown. Number 5 versus number 21. Clemson versus Wake Forest. Changing the topic, you keep going on.
No, yeah, Clemson's going to win. Actually, you know what? I'm kind of surprised Clemson's ranked at 5. For a team that's struggling a lot offensively, they're ranked at 5 is pretty bold. I feel like they're more like a 10 to 15 team at the moment.
Okay, so Tennessee's ranked 11 and Florida's ranked 20, but I expect Tennessee to blow the brakes off of Florida.
I sure hope they do blow the brakes out of Florida because this and this is not because of Flash Gator hate or Snoopy's Gator hate or anything like that. All right, we know Snoopy is a diehard Gators hater, by the way. But anyways, there is no way. You know what? I really hope Tennessee blows the brakes out of them because to let everyone know that they're frauds that they are and that they don't deserve to be there, all because it's SEC babying. All right. I don't care if you're an SEC school that pulls 4 and 5-star talent all the time. If you're not winning football games, you shouldn't be ranked. Plain and simple. And also, we do need to talk about refereeing as well in college football. Because listen, when you have SEC analysts who are biased for SEC teams out there and telling you that referees are missing calls or giving out bad calls in favor of SEC teams, and they're calling you out for that, you messed up as refereeing. And it goes back to what I'm saying. You're ruining the integrity of the game. And that's been happening way too much lately. Just, I guess because people just can't handle the fact of losing. Like, come on. Fun fact, that's changing. Unless Billy Napier pulls out some magic, it's done, all right?
Hey, you know who's on that Tennessee team in 2016?
I do not know how. Oh, yeah.
That was, I think, the Camara team.
Oh, yeah, that could have been the Camara team. It could have been. Michigan at 4, I could agree with that. Oklahoma at 6, I think they should be higher. USC at 7, well, we didn't see. Kentucky at 8, that's agreeable. I cannot complain about that. NC State at 12, that's agreeable.
That was Camara. Camara, yeah, but he barely played. It was Jalen Hurd. Wow. Juwan Jennings. Wow. Okay, so this team was really, I don't even know how the hell they won this game.
So Tennessee has not beaten Florida in consecutive years since essentially when Ace was born. Good to know.
Yeah, this Tennessee team was actually garbage. This was the Joshua Dobbs team.
How the heck Texas A&M is still ranked? That's also another atrocity right there. SEC bias. Let me tell you. I could keep going on.
Was on this team. Antonio Callaway. Whatever happened to Antonio Callaway? He disappeared. Freshman Freddie Swain.
All right, so I think my rant is kind of dried up about this.
Yeah, we're tired of it. All right, cool.
Let's talk
for Heisman.
Let's talk about Bo Nix first before we talk about Michael Penix. Bo Nix experience, ladies and gentlemen. Full, beautiful showcasing against BYU. Played in his home arena, and he played great. But you want to know what happens when Bo Nix isn't home, or he plays a team with serious defense? He's going to look like Bo Nix, that what people are used to seeing at Auburn. In terms of the fact that Bo Nix away, I'm still not biting on Bo Nix as hype. I'm still not biting. But I will go on and say this, though. Comparing Bo Nix to Spencer Rattler is a worse degree of worse than Bo Nix. Bo Nix is bad, but Spencer Rattler is just steps down worse than Bo Nix. It was a funny tweet, though, by the way, but I do want to say that.
Cool. Jaden Daniels is the second best quarterback in the SEC.
Who?
Jaden Daniels in LSU.
That's a bold statement for a team that's struggling a lot.
Well, he has beat Mississippi State.
Hey, you know what? Speaking of Mississippi State,
and he wasn't bad. It wasn't him who lost against Florida. It was his defense out. Florida State. It was the defense that lost to Florida State.
Oh,
it wasn't really him and the kicker, but kicker sold. But yeah, Bryce Young.
Let's talk about Georgia.
Back in the SEC. Now let's talk about Michael Penix before we talk about Georgia. Georgia's somehow better than they were before.
I don't know if I would go as far to say they were better than they were before, but they're still pretty damn good. Let's keep it like that. I'm not going to say
Stetson Bennett's a white Vic. Hey, I didn't say that. Somebody else said that. I just took what somebody else said.
Stetson Bennett is really good for who he is, and you know what? I mean,
Why didn't you be like Tom Brady or something in the NFL?
you
like
know
the
what?
ultimate game manager.
You know
like
what?
before
Stetson Bennett,
Brandy Moss, Tom Brady, like the ultimate game manager, Tom Brady.
Oh boy.
With legs.
All right, so here's another argument we need to make. It's not a rant, but it's just an argument. It is time to put Michael Penix Jr. in the Heisman conversation. It is time we got to start doing that. You know, the first two teams were like, okay, small schools and stuff is no big deal. But the dude completely lit up Michigan State like it was nothing. Almost had 400 yards of offense, and what his completion rate was pretty much insane. I mean, let me pull up that number real quickly. I don't even know. I know it was like 397 yards of total offense, so but I forgot.
Yeah, great. Gotta go pull it up to bail him out. Or he's just gonna not say anything.
I am saying something right now. All right, so here we go. So Michael Penix versus
24, 40, 397 for 4 TDs.
60% completion. That's very impressive. 397 yards, as I said. I mean, listen, he played better. Well, no, I want to say that. I mean, he was 20 for 27 against whatever that small school is. In Kent State, he was 26 for 39, but still, nonetheless, he's probably the best quarterback Washington had in a long time. And you know what? If Washington can go undefeated, they might be going to the college football playoffs. I'm going to say that right now. If they go undefeated, no, it's not a bold take. Think of it. If you have to play USC twice, once in the regular season, which they do,
and one for the Pac-12,
they should be deservingly go to the college football playoffs. I'm gonna say that.
Wait, would they be in the? Will they play USC in the Pac-12 championship?
Yeah, because USC is South. The South Pac-12 and North Pac-12. So, but yeah, I mean, USC was like ranked number 7. If Michael Penix could get the job, or did I really say penis or Penix? Anyways, if Michael Penix could get the job done, beat USC twice, which is very difficult to do in the college football level. If you beat a team twice, you got to put them in that 4th spot and have them go again in the playoffs, whether they get blown out or not. That's a really compelling case. They should be in. No 2 Big 12 teams in for sure. I think Ohio State.
So let's get this straight. So if one of either USC or Washington wins the 2 games back to back, the matchup between USC and Washington, and the Pac-12 championship between the 2 of them, that's the one who's going to go to the playoffs, right?
If they go undefeated, yes.
I think both teams will go undefeated until they play each other.
Well, yeah, and the Pac-12 schedule, yeah. I mean, there's nobody else standing in their way. I mean,
and then it'll probably be whoever wins the Michigan-Ohio State game.
I mean, let's see.
In the Big Ten, and then your
actually,
2 right.
Actually, I'm gonna throw this out right now. The Pac-12 North, Oregon State and Washington State are no sleeper teams. By the way, I've been hearing the noise they've been making, so keep an eye out for them.
Wait, who?
Washington
Oregon State.
Yeah, Oregon State has been pretty solid so far, from what I've been hearing. They're 3-0. I mean, they beat Boise State, Fresno State. Well, Montana State doesn't count, but USC could be on potential upset alert against Oregon State. It's a bold one, but it's there. It's very well there.
You don't have faith in Caleb Williams and Jordan Addison?
I'm not. It's not that I don't have faith in them. I'm just saying, Oregon State is better than what people are out there making them to be. I consider them a sleeper team, and Washington State as well is considered a sleeper team as well. So
you got me bored now.
I'm sorry.
All right. I don't know how the hell Georgia's better than.
Oh, come on. This is a premium article. I don't want no premium article. Go to hell.
I don't know how Georgia lost so many players to the NFL.
And still be that good? Because it's Georgia. They reload. They have guys ready that want to step up. Here's the thing: Georgia is so deep to the point that their backups could probably start on any other FBS school in the whole nation, with the exception of Alabama. That's how deep Georgia is, and that is just a crazy thing to think of as well.
Mm-hmm.
Kirby
I
Smart
like
has
it was what we were saying how much we were like questioning Dabo after losing his coordinators, right? And all of a sudden, he's still keeping Clemson somehow ranked number 5, albeit only 3 weeks in. That's actually insane to
that
think
is
about.
insane, without a doubt. Oh, you want to talk about Texas A&M, and we should start talking about how Jimbo's old scheme is like no longer good anymore. I mean, they struggle
If
against
you
the speed
want,
of
really, I don't care.
a mediocre Jimbo Fisher offense and
Yeah, Jimbo's in the wrong era.
yeah, that too. But guess what? Miami's fault is you're some of the problems Oregon used to have in the day before. You're now going to see it in Miami and their offense. People are starting to say that. What's his name? Cristobal or whatever.
Mario Cristobal.
Yeah, it's kind of suspect down there. Might want to keep an eye on them, see what kind of trouble they may be up ahead. Actually, Ace, you have nothing, man. You've been pretty quiet.
I am ready to go into hot topics. To be honest with you.
Oh, let me cover this real quickly. All right, University of Miami does play another nobody. Well, I can't call it Middle Tennessee a bunch of nobodies, but a very inferior team. UNC, Virginia Tech. Okay, those are wins. Duke is not so much a win, but I expect Florida State to take them out, and Clemson. Wow, Miami could really get away with the schedule, and only have 3 losses. That's how easy their schedule is. It's ridiculous. All right, they have Middle Tennessee, UNC, Virginia Tech, Duke, Virginia, Florida State. That's their first L. Georgia Tech, Clemson is the second L, and Pittsburgh is going to be the third L. But that's just crazy, man. They're going to go 3 losses only just from playing nobodies. It's just wild.
Okay, cool.
Oof.
All right,
shit.
so
Florida State might get stomped by North Carolina State.
let's get in. Okay,
Actually, no. Too soon. We'll talk about that later.
All right, hot topics. Right, I wanted to talk about this first. So we all know what Garrett Wilson did. We know what Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase has been doing. We know Olave's coming. He's been beating guys one-on-one. It's just he hasn't got the ball. So I was gonna say, do you think the dudes coming out of LSU and Ohio State as wide receivers are just better than the ones coming out of Alabama? Because Alabama used to have like the Julio Jones, the Amari Coopers coming out. Now you're like, you got these guys. LSU just they got Keyshawn's coming out. They got Ohio State's got JNS, Marvin Harrison Jr., and that other freshman Uboke guy.
I don't know, Ace. What do you think? Do you think Olave deserves to be in a conversation better than Waddle? Do you think Jamar Chase so far this season?
Jamar Chase is better than Waddle.
Well,
come on.
Well, last season, yeah, but this season he hasn't been showing it.
Did you not see him against Pittsburgh?
Well, Pittsburgh, he went nuclear, but this past weekend against Dallas, he was getting.
Joe Burrow couldn't even get 2 seconds to throw him the ball. That's not his fault.
Speaking of which,
all right, so Alabama wide receivers in the NFL right now. You got Calvin Ridley, he's suspended. You got Amari Cooper. You got Jerry Jeudy. You got, I don't even know who the hell left. Jalen Waddle. Irv Smith doesn't count. He's a tight end. Devontae Smith. Julio, but Julio's in the wrong generation for what I'm trying to say. But then you have Ohio State, you got the Mike Thomases, you got the Olaves, you got Garrett Wilsons. But then you also have the guys coming in the next 2 years from Ohio State. And then at LSU, you got Jamar and Justin. Terrence Marshall never even got a shot. But I was just saying, what do you think of, Alabama just producing NFL talent, and then you have these 2 schools just coming like, oh, wait, we got some pretty damn good guys, too.
Well,
just a little hot thing I wanted to bring up.
Well, it's a hot take at the moment, but I mean, in terms of LSU, besides the names of Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, who else? I mean, they had Odell and Jarvis as well, but I mean, what do you think, Ace? Do you think those guys? LSU has been producing enough to say they're better.
No, I think the 2019 team just has the two of those two guys who just clear everybody beside Julio.
You do not think Justin Jefferson is better than Julio in his prime, or you don't think Jamar Chase was
Well,
better than
I'm
Julio in his
just saying
prime?
for right now, I think Justin Jefferson's probably damn close, but to the fact that
Jamar
he struggled so much
Jamar
again.
Chase
Well, no,
rookie season was considered insane. Remember that. I mean,
oh, I know.
time will tell. Time will tell about those two guys. We just gotta
Well,
wait and
Jefferson's
see.
only 3 years into the league. Chase is 2, so can't say they're better than Julio yet.
Prime Julio. We're talking about prime Julio.
Yeah,
We're not,
prime Julio is what I mean.
yeah,
But anyway, let's talk about some fantasy football.
I do not know about Ohio State take as well. I mean,
Have you not
Olave.
seen Marvin Harrison
Well,
Jr.?
Marvin Harris. Wait, we talking about the Colts Marvin Harrison?
No, Junior. You didn't
No.
see him last week?
What team he's on?
He's on Ohio State.
Oh,
Well, they're
right
also
now.
playing Toledo, but still.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, Ohio State dropped 70 points. This is insane, but I guess.
Okay, this Egbuke
I mean, they kind
guy.
of had to because they were putting up points.
Just listen to this, right? So Njigba barely played the game, right? But there's this. I don't even know how you say this guy's name, but is Egbuka. I do not know how you say this guy's name. I feel so bad, but Eju Ohio State, right? So Emeka Egbuka, I don't even know how you say his name. Dude had 7 catches for 116 yards. Marvin Harrison Jr. 6 for 102. Jackson Smith only had 2 for 33, but still, Jaina's gonna be a top pick this year. Marvin Harrison's gonna be a top pick next year, and Egbuka is gonna be a top pick the year after. And that's after you had the second and third wide receivers drafted in last year's draft behind London. But then again, you got the Sun God over in Detroit, who we didn't even talk about in the NFL. Greatest fantasy trade steal of all time, trading Miles Sanders for you know what? Let me not say it because I'm gonna get this man jinxed. We're not saying it, knocking on the wood. But anyway, the Sun God is putting up absurd numbers. He just tied Antonio Brown and Michael Thomas for most 8-yard catches, 8 catches in a game for consecutive games. Dudes like Cooper Kupp before Cooper Kupp could play outside. That's what Amon-Ra St. Brown. And the only reason why he fell in the draft is because he had a terrible 40 time. But if you watch him play on the field, he is not that slow.
I never thought he was slow. I mean, even when I was seeing his modern day high school in California's highlights, I thought yeah, this guy's gonna go in the league. I didn't think it was gonna be this good, but he's been pretty damn good so far. And you know what? Speaking of which, we don't talk about we need to start taking Detroit a little bit more seriously. They're not the bottom of the pit.
Detroit's got an offense. Whew. Detroit got an offense right now.
With Jared Goff, which is kind of funny, but at the same time,
their offensive line is actually pretty good. And he's actually getting time to throw the ball. And it's just like Amon-Ra keeps getting himself open. He just throws Amon-Ra around the ball, and it just works. I don't know, but I think that
and the running back's been solid too as well. I think
DeAndre Swift had one leg, and he got like I want to say 16 or 17 fantasy points on one leg, and he doesn't even look slow. He has a bad ankle, and he just looked fine.
I mean, for a bad ankle, and you can still run. I mean, it's probably a painful run for the man, but the fact he could do it, I mean, it's pretty good. I mean, I'm actually happy for Detroit. We cannot call them the pits of garbage anymore. So they're not the bottom barrel.
Detroit might.
Neither the Giants.
I want to say our prediction for Detroit games where I want to say like 5 wins. No, it wasn't 5. It was like 4 wins between me and JP's when we were doing this stuff. And their schedule so far, right? So let's see. They beat the Commanders. They're gonna have Vikings this week. I don't know if they win this, but they're definitely beating the Seahawks.
From a fantasy perspective, some of the Commanders dudes have been putting up points. I want to look into that.
Carson Wentz has been absurd.
He's been bad.
He's top 10 in fantasy points per game in the league. And
wait, what? Top 10 in fantasy points in the league?
Yeah. Well, he's also a quarterback, but still.
I mean, for a guy like Carson Wentz, I mean that we always give him shit for. I mean
It's
Kinda
2
funny.
games
It's
and they were
nice.
down bad. Or well, they were up in 1 and down a lot in the second. But okay, so Detroit, they got Vikings. I expect them to probably lose that game, but it won't surprise me if they win. I'll probably pick them to win. You got the Seahawks.
No, actually, you know what?
They're gonna
Vikings are
beat the Seahawks. Oh wait, no, it's 1 o'clock Kirk
no,
Cousins. 1 o'clock Kirk Cousins is good.
no. We're gonna time out. Vikings. You know, I can see the Lions beating them with how bad Minnesota been.
Oh, that's prime time Kirk Cousins.
I mean, that's true, but
Already,
Seahawks. You know,
Jeff Okudah was looking good.
You know what? I'm gonna hit the brakes on the Seahawks one. We are kind of overreacting about the Seahawks thing because with
You think those Seahawks are going to beat the Lions? As the Lions you've seen the last 2 weeks versus the Seahawks you've seen the last 2 weeks.
Well, I'm gonna say this as of right now. You know,
you don't think Trey Hendrickson's going to not Trey Hendrickson?
Aiden
Hutchinson's going to
destroy them? We should not evaluate the Seahawks to be bad because of that game with the 49ers. That's all I'm saying. Because the 49ers look like they've gotten better since. Well, with that injury, and their offense was clicking a lot better. So I do not want to go and start saying Seattle is bad yet. So, I mean, it's one to watch. Actually,
okay, do you realize the Seattle Seahawks did not have a single point on offense?
Yeah, and
you think they're going to go and beat a team that's put up over 20 points in back-to-back games?
Does Detroit even have a defense?
Yeah, Aiden Hutchinson's going to destroy him. He had 3 sacks. You remember Seattle's offensive line is a piece of garbage?
Oh, yeah, I forgot their offensive line is a piece of garbage. Hey, look on the bright side, Seahawks fans. You got the Falcons. If you could beat them, maybe you could probably beat the Lions too. I'll say that.
Nah, Drake London's gonna destroy him.
Oh, okay. Now you're talking out of your butthole now, sir.
Hey, Drake London's been good. He toasted the Rams. Hey, what's the guy's name? Jacoby Durant. JP, is that the guy's name, right? You got the pick 6 against the Falcons. It's Jacoby Durant, right? Just type it in the chat. I want to say it is. The HBCU guy. I don't remember what school it was from. South Carolina State.
The Seahawks
pick 6. Yeah,
Jacoby
Durant. He is going to be starting this week because Troy Hill went on injured reserve. So next 4 weeks, we're going to be seeing a lot of Jacoby Durant. So we're going to be seeing that. FAMU's got what?
It's going to be rough for Seattle after the Falcons. Lions, Saints, Cardinals, Chargers, Giants, the Tweety Birds, Cardinals again, the Buccaneers.
But we get a 1-800 Bryce Young for the Seattle Seahawks.
Raiders. Actually, you know what? I mean, I'm not going to write them off on the Raiders yet. The Rams. Well, you know, it's a division game, so we'll see. Panthers. Okay, that might actually be a W. That's a W, man.
Y'all going
it's the Panthers. It's the Panthers. It is the Panthers. Come on. 49ers, that's going to be a loss. Chiefs, well, that's going to be a decimation. Jets, that's going to be a W. Rams, I mean, that's to be dated.
The Jags going to beat the Seahawks. Be straight.
No.
The Jags going to beat the Seahawks.
The Jaguars, they don't even play the Jaguars.
Oh, I thought that was the Jaguars you said.
No, I said the Jets.
Nah, Jets still beating them. Garrett Wilson going to go for 150 on them.
That is just nonsense. Do your fancy talk. You know what? I heard enough nonsense for today.
All right. It can't be worse than that starting Lamar Jackson. Duck and cover. Oh, he started Herbert. He can't be mad, but I mean, he would have won if he started Lamar. But how was I supposed to know? He could start his own lineup. All right, I'm looking at the Seahawks. Yeah, I don't see them winning more than 3 games this year. I'm serious. They ain't winning more than 3 games. Your best bets in winning are
they're winning 3 games.
The Panthers and the Jets. Those are your best 3 shots at winning.
Well, hang on, maybe man.
4-12. That's still a top 5 pick.
Hey, you know what? It's the tanking season. I mean, we're not upset if we lose. You know, if we see progress on the comeback, then it's fine. Come on, we're embracing the tank, and that sometimes tanking is fun. All right, Raiders could be a possible W.
Nah, we're just gonna. Well, Josh McDaniels is a coach, and he's not a good coach, so who knows? But all right,
What
fantasy
would you?
talk.
All right. Let me tell you this. What would you do if the Seahawks beat the Saints? What would you do? I just want to know. What would you do if the Seahawks beat the Saints?
Well, if they haven't won any games until to that point, I am going to be calling so hard for Dennis Allen to get fired.
The
I will
Saints
be calling
coach?
for it from on top of like Mount whatever the hell it is. Mount Helen, isn't that where right next to Seattle is? Or whatever that one is.
Something
I'll be
like
calling
that.
I'll be standing up on the top there and I'll be calling for Dennis Allen to get fired. I've already been calling for it since like this week, so
Boy.
it's alright. I never wanted him to take coach anyways.
I'll be honest with you. As of right now, I don't even know who I could say who's actually good and who is actually bad right now in the NFL because the first few weeks is always messy. So I'm gonna wait till like week 4 till I start saying, okay, this is good and this is bad.
You've been getting me off topic from the fantasy football talk now. If you in fantasy and you see a man who have Elijah Moore, you get your phone and you go offer a bench play for Elijah Moore. Because I'm telling you, once Zach Wilson comes back, Elijah Moore is going to be getting 10 targets along with Garrett Wilson. Because Zach Wilson loved the hell out of Elijah Moore. In both training camp and in last year, you saw it. When Elijah Moore was healthy and with Zach Wilson, he was putting up absurd numbers. So I'll be trying to get Elijah Moore.
I have a question for you, Wace. Do you start Lamar Jackson this week against the Patriots or do you start Justin Herbert?
Lamar. Justin Herbert's got broke ribs.
Oh, I forgot.
The only reason why he stayed in that game is because those are the same doctors on that team that punctured Tyrod Taylor's lung.
Oh, yeah. You should be terrified if you on. All right. Let me ask you this. Curtis Samuel, I should definitely put into play against the Eagles. Is that a good idea?
Until he breaks something again and he's out for 8 weeks. That's expected of him.
All right. I'm Evan Ingram, Singletary gave me only 4 points as a starting running back.
Singletary's garbage. I don't know why the hell you started him anyway.
4. You know what? In fact, someone else can take him. I'm gonna drop him.
Irv Smith, good fantasy pickup. Evan Ingram.
Oh my God, my opponent has Josh Allen as their quarterback.
Not me. I have Jalen Hurts. He worked out pretty good.
And
carried me back from the brink of down 172 to 117. Thank you, Jalen Hurts.
Oh,
because Justin Jefferson didn't show up.
Ace, what's your thoughts about the Steelers O-line and having Najee? You think Najee has not been so far great because of how
the hell was that? Anyway, Najee's gonna have to. Well, the whole thing with the play calling and in Pittsburgh is very concerning because of the fact that you're having the players be at odds with the offensive coordinator. And this is even from last year too, apparently, with Ben Roethlisberger. He used to start changing the plays on his own. That whole thing in Pittsburgh is very concerning, so I don't know.
I would fire the offensive coordinator, to be honest, if I'm Pittsburgh.
I don't know why Mike Tomlin has him, but he's the issue, but they're not getting rid of him.
He is the issue. I think Pittsburgh fans might be starting to get tired of him as well, like how Seattle
they are.
With that other offensive coordinator they just fired a few years back. I think that's
the offensive coordinator down in Jacksonville, I think.
Listen, you could pick up a coordinator anywhere. Fire the man, please. The fans do not deserve this. The team does not deserve it. And you know what? As someone that's actually been to has a little idea of how much Pittsburgh loves the Steelers, fire the man. They don't deserve it. Pittsburgh fans do not deserve this kind of torture. All right, they're the most loyal fan. I would not say loyal, but they're not a shit fan base at all, and they're very passionate for their team. I'm gonna say that. And you know what?
Can we wrap it up now?
Yeah, their fans do not deserve that product with that drama of that offensive coordinator. Kick his behind out, please. Plain and simple.
Okay, and that is gonna do it for us. Thank you for another. How do we say this? Rantful, full of rants. Not even full of passion. There we go. This is the passion-filled episode of the Last Gift podcast.
VJ, is Jeff Wilson a good idea or no?
I mean, yeah, sure.
Whoa,
he was solid.
He's solid. Yeah,
Jeff Wilson. You got man just asked me to set his lineup so he can get mad at me when someone on his bench goes off.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
But
Thanks,
I'm
guys,
dropping
for the past
Singletary
told
for him.
episode. Ignore Flash. Flash is an idiot. Who cares?
Anyways, be a friend, tell a friend, like, share, subscribe. Do not listen to Ace. He's just talking mad nonsense. You'll hear his mouth again tomorrow, anyways. Like, share, subscribe. You'll have a good night. Also, be as well, comment, and I'll be down to answer some questions on what I think and stuff. I do have a little bit of controversy on what I think about the state of football right now, especially in college football with the
Oh,
rankings
great. Here he
of
goes.
clear favoritism. But we shall see. You wanna come at me? Come at me. My at is underscore Aj the Great on Twitter. I'm gonna say it again. At underscore Aj the Great. You got questions or you want
gotta spell
my
it for
opinion
them.
or something? You could at me right there. Jordan can drop my at right there. But other than that, I'm done, man.
All right. Thank you guys again for another episode. Tomorrow, Run and Gun, 7 o'clock. Like it says right there. Next week, Allison will come on Run and Gun. I think it'll be usual time next week, Wednesday. But anyway, we'll take care. Stay blessed. See you next week. Oh, wow. We teed him up.
I think Jordan.